the
confused.
podcast.
Oh my gosh.
Everyone. Thank you for joining us this evening.
Thank you, Hayden.
I hope
Continue.
you're all
Welcome
bundled
to
up in your
episode
little
69.
Hey,
Hey!
It's getting funky in here.
What's that symbol? Where it's like
Dang it.
Which one is that?
blanket. No, we're not going
Our
down
goal
that
is
road.
Okay,
already
Hayden,
fading.
go. Hayden, say your things.
Is it Sagittarius? What is it?
I sneezed. I'm sorry.
What?
But it sounded really weird because I was trying to stop it. It was going to sound so strange in the recording.
The zodiac sign.
He's doing that, and you're doing that.
I'm just still singing.
Thanks. I'm going to do announcements. Follow our social media. Thanks Beyond Skyrim. Thanks Sirenscape. Thanks Celestial Aeon Project.
Don't forget the Slider King,
did it.
Sirenscape,
Discord.
He
Join
said-
our Discord.
Yeah, Discord.
Discworld is a thing.
Roll
I'm getting off
Slayers.
track.
Hold on. Rollslayers.com/partners. Check
Hey,
them out. Also, if you want to build worlds like Tyler builds worlds, then you would build your world on World Anvil.
It's true, in a coffee shop.
And honestly, if it really is super helpful for you to have a World Anvil. It's also super helpful for us for you to go to worldanvil.pxf.io
There you go.
/rollslayers.
That's the one.
Thanks.
Then
Thank you, Jeremy.
We'll double scratch here. And then Eldritch Foundry.
Mm-hmm.
We'll give you 15% off at checkout if you use our code RollSlayers.
Yep.
And that's it.
That's it.
I rolled them.
We're having an efficient D&D intro for you
We're
guys
so
at home.
excited to play this next episode.
We're just trying to get into it. So, without further ado, let's get into it.
I'm just afraid.
Last we left off with the party.
He'll find a way to give us those items.
They contemplated destroying the spear. Midnight's triumph with Brockner Puler, head of divination of the Quintessence Pursuant. He offered them several rewards in exchange for their help retrieving the spear. And they decided that as a group they would like to, consider. Searching for Cyrus, they did not find Cyrus. Only a ripped up book, some black ichor, and a fleck of blood. Returning and waiting for Master Puler to finish the ritual, he informed them that he could not scry upon Cyrus or locate him, but he promised that after the ritual he would help locate Cyrus. As the ritual came to a close, the city of Uringal, capital of the Blackthorn Ascendancy, was invaded, its arcane wards penetrated by a shadowy knight atop a black ethereal dragon. Bursting through the Tower of Divination's window and into the office, this being tried reason, but was not afraid to wield mortal danger against the party. Working his way through them one by one, he made his way to the edge of this arcane barrier where Brockner Puler struggled to finish the task. Upon doing so, the spear shattered and a wave of energy burst out before sucking back in. And each of our party was cast into a void, each of them landing in separate locations. Bells, you found yourself on a battlefield after climbing out of a cave and eventually to another wanderer. But before we get to that, Remy, you hurtle through space, time, the planes perhaps, and as you do, you slam into rock.
Ouchie.
As you stand, you find that it is a very small rock.
Tyler, I might need to stop you here for a second because if you'll recall, Remy was unconscious when he went soaring through all of this.
You were stable, so you're able to come to consciousness after smacking into the ground.
If you'll allow that, that's fine. I did look up the rules to, so I have to roll a d4 to see how many hours I remain unconscious.
That's fine. Go ahead.
I rolled a 4 hours.
I was just gonna give you an hour, so we're just gonna go with that. You find yourself on a very small rock, floating in the space between what seem to be two massive cubes of iron.
Can I just wake up like that?
Yep.
How's
The rock is about 10 feet in radius or diameter.
And on either
Explain
side,
how-
there's a big cube.
There's like kind of one floating up and then one floating off to the side.
Oh, okay.
Okay, what's in the space around the cubes?
Nothingness.
So all I see are 2 huge cubes.
Just 2 huge cubes floating in what seems to be air. A void.
And how huge are the cubes?
One of them is like the biggest thing you've ever seen in your life in terms of landmass. I mean, like, you can see the whole cube as opposed to like you can't see the whole planet. You know what I mean? So it's massive. The other one is probably the size of like Chaldean on one side. So, you know, it's a 6-sided cube.
How do I know it's a are they far away then?
They're kind of floating, drifting. They're very far away.
Oh. I just see 2 colossal planet-sized cubes.
Not planet size, but at least half a continent, the big one.
Scale is weird in this environment. Well, I'll do some internal monologuing here. So I guess this is what's on the other side, huh? Well, it's really confusing. I was kind of hoping for a bit more clarity after all this. And, you know, maybe a bit less of a physical feeling. Why am I still dirty? This is stupid. He sits down on the rock.
Okay. As you sit down, Vinny, much like your compatriots, you find yourself hurtling through space, smashing into the ground, and then kind of coughing, looking up, taking in your surroundings. And as you're looking up, the immediate thing, sensory-wise, that you gain is 2 directions of kind of clangor of noise, and you look to your left and right and see 2 armies moving to clash into one another, yelling with you in the middle. What do you do?
He tries to see if there's any way behind or forward where he feels like he can get out of the way.
Possibly. It depends upon how fast you are.
Okay, he starts to run backwards, but also kind of like keeping an eye on the 2 armies coming next to him, just so if he needs to like thread the needle between them, he can do so. Also ready to Misty Step at any point.
Make a general athletics check for me with advantage because of Misty Step. But you will burn a slot if you need it.
If I use it.
If you want to use advantage.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's fine. I'll roll 1 to see how it goes, and then I'll roll another for Misty Step. Misty Step was a 20.
Okay.
So
you start huffing and puffing, and these armies are getting closer and closer, and it's almost, you know, it's a little bit like a hallway getting narrower as these kind of almost like catapulting over one another. These undead armored beings are just like almost like 2 waves crashing over you. And at the last second, you're like, I'm gonna get crushed. And you poof, and Misty Step just on the other side of the clash. And you hear the clangor of battle, screams of pain and glee and terror alike behind you. And you keep running. What do you do as you kind of get some distance now?
I try to, and as you know, like looking over my shoulder, trying to see what the scope of this entire battle is, trying to see any other land masses or just anything to get like up and above it, basically.
Yeah. You're now able to take in your surroundings, and looking around, there are giant cubes of metal floating all around you. Some giant, some teeny. And as you look down at the ground you're walking on, this cracked black blue hellscape, it's reminiscent of what Cyrus said he envisioned. You realize you're on a cube as well.
I try to pick up some teeny cubes.
They're floating
they're
like
like-
in space, yeah. Think of this as kind of like the astral sea, where there's kind of just
Okay.
like this ethereal.
I wasn't sure if there were maybe some that were like kind of just like floating by me or something I could just like grab.
Yeah, there's one. It's not teeny, but there's a
Like
a large cat-sized 2 potatoes.
Yeah, I was like, how many potatoes?
There's a,
Six
a
potatoes?
large, it'd be a two.
It's like an Amazon.com package.
That you're not able to quite grab, but in the distance it kind of crashes and then like explodes across the surface of this one that you're standing upon.
Into cubes or it like shatters?
Shatters.
All right,
into
Titania,
Not into.
can you hear me? Are you here?
There's a pause. Yes,
You're everywhere, aren't you?
in some places.
Where am I?
That's for you to find out. And I'm starting to get a bit frustrated. You're on a timetable, sir. That's all you hear.
This is his patron. She's a fae.
Well, that wasn't helpful. You're on a timetable. Figure it out. Good luck. Still love you, though. Still love you. Still, we'll find you and we will have a life together. Don't think I haven't forgot you. Anyway, so where am I?
Make a history check or arcana check with disadvantage.
I don't really need disadvantage, but okay. I rolled a 2 minus 1. A 1.
Cube world.
I shall name you
He
Cube World.
now knows less than he did before.
No dots, just cubes.
All right.
Who
well,
am I? What is cube?
I guess I should probably go and find the leader of one of these armies. So that's what he does. Obviously, the leaders are going to be at the back of the army, so he's going to kind of start trying to
Sure.
track parallel with the clash
Okay.
and see if he can't get behind one of the armies.
We'll cut the bells and Ruby. Is that your name?
Yeah.
Ruby. Bells, last we left off, you had your armor. You're not your armor. Your Morning Star in a confrontational position, a wary position, as you glimpse this halfling in both flamboyant, colorful clothing as well as muted, more traveler's garb. A bit of a conundrum.
I wouldn't say confrontational, but just ready.
Wary.
I do have
Wary.
this. Do you
Yes.
see it?
Yeah.
It's sparkly and sharp.
Yes. Name yourself.
Hi, my name's Ruby. You also look like you don't belong here, so you just put that away. It's all right.
I asked you to name yourself.
My name's Ruby. I'm from Stoheller.
You're from Stoheller. What? Okay. You're from.
I'm delighted. I'm sorry.
Hayden, shut up! Put it away! How did you get here?
Well, that is a very interesting story if you have a minute.
Could we shorten the minute, perhaps?
I was in Chaldean. I was with this pesky half-elf that I also am half in love with. Whatever. And at the Bard College, and he had this special pan flute that was looked like it was made out of what everything here is made out of, but pipes that he got from, what's it called?
He stole it. You don't know where from.
He got it from somewhere. But it looked real special. He wanted to show it to me. And when he blew on it, I got sucked in here.
It's like the whistle from Mario. Instead of the giant world, you go to cube world.
Yeah.
This is where Metal Mario's from.
So you're from Stohella, and you
I came here from Chaldean.
by listening to someone else play a pan flute.
Some kind of enchanted pipes. I don't rightly know.
How long have you been here?
How long have I been here?
About a day.
About
Hard to tell.
about a day as best I can tell, because there's no
sun. No moon.
Celestial movements. I don't really know. But based on how hungry I am, probably about a day.
Can you tell me where in Stohella are you from exactly?
From the halfling area.
You're from,
Is there a halfling neighborhood?
I mean, most halflings in Stohella are pretty integrated in society. Like, there's not
There's
a lot
not
of,
like a sector.
No. You're from the crappy place.
I'd be listening to see if she said anything that I'd ever heard Cyrus say,
Sure.
trying to see,
Sure.
is she actually from Stohella? Is she actually a halfling? Do I actually believe her?
Yeah.
Is she some weirdo that's pretending to be a halfling from Stohella?
Go ahead and make an insight check while I get this Stoheller info.
Oh.
Just gotta believe
I'm
me.
rolling on the ones that kind of count.
So, you're from the Canal District.
Yeah, I'm from the Canal District. It's like a wet armpit, but cold.
That sounds like something Cyrus would have said.
Yeah, it does. That's what everyone says about Stoheller, so it doesn't help.
At least I probably have been there. Even if you don't want to believe me.
Oh, heard of it. What have you been doing the last day?
Well, I've been watching these fools crash into each other.
What are they doing? Just fighting?
Something that was interesting you observed in your tenure here is several armies of different undead beings crash together on other cubes, on this cube, some of them pouring out from giant tunnels. And after all the battles ceased for some time, the corpses got up and walked away, back down into the tunnels.
They just run it back?
Before this morning, once again, the corpses battled.
Yeah, these zombies, they just been running it back a couple times.
Running
They just
it back.
they just fight each other, and then the ones that are dead, they get up and they go back, and then they do it again. They just keep clashing.
Where did your lover acquire this flute?
He ain't my lover. I just wanted him to be. Sorry, it's a long story. You said you don't got a minute. Sorry. What?
Where did he get this flute from? Where did it come from?
I don't know. He stole it.
He said he pilfered it off someone.
He pilfered it. I told you, he was real kind of a scamp. You'll have to stop laughing.
Well, what should we do exactly?
I mean, I was just hoping somebody else who was not undead would also show up, honestly. So
Have you seen others?
No.
This is the first not dead person you've seen.
You're the first not dead person.
Oh, that's troubling. I was sucked into a sort of portal with friends of mine, but I'm not sure if they are here or elsewhere, really. Where did you come to be in this place?
I landed here on this cube.
But
you see,
in
it's
what
all
direction?
these other cubes floating around. They might be on another one. Your friends.
Why would you suggest that?
Well, just because if y'all came through the same, suck hole.
And we did. All through the same suck hole.
It's like the best Noel, I think.
Molly, if this is anything, I don't ever break, but I've already broke like 5 times.
Okay.
The only person who's ever made me break consistently is freaking John with his stupid jokes.
Okay.
Great. It's like, that's good.
Yes, it's good.
So as you guys are
Plus part.
chatting
Okay.
about what might have happened, we'll cut to Remy. Remy, you're sitting on a rock, floating in space,
How big is the rock?
10-foot diameter.
Okay.
He really got the short end of that
he
stick.
did. Short end of the rock,
Yeah,
short
I'm
end of the
sure
cube.
What are you doing? Just
All right.
Send
I'd say that Remy sits probably for about an hour, just kind of looking at the cubes. I think he's probably waiting for his guide across the void, to the next place. So he's gonna
Yeah,
sit
that
there for
circle
about an
is
hour
really
and
big.
then start to kind of wonder, like, okay, maybe this isn't. He's gonna start looking around. I mean, in that time, he'll be glancing around, but he's gonna start kind of looking finally around the rocky surface that he finds himself on. Look for
Yeah.
indicators, barcodes, that sort of thing.
indicator.
As you are sitting contemplatively, but also a little bit panicked, the rock starts to rotate. And you start to kind of slide down, but it's a slow enough, gradual enough rotation that you can kind of just crawl around as this rock rotates.
So is it
This is
gravity?
the worst.
There's a little bit of gravity stuff going on, but it's not a
Each cube
strong
has its
gravitational
own-
pull from what you can tell. But you are floating and moving, and as you do, you start to ever so slightly drift towards one of these cubes.
Oh boy. Well,
Slowly. A
Was
couple
that-
more rotations. You're fairly close to one of these cubes, and you now make out more than just 2. You make out more than you can count.
I guess the 2 were close enough that they were obstructing my view.
Yeah. They were kind of all encompassing, but now behind you, as this
Can I,
one
like-
grows large.
Can I make out details on the cube, or do they just look like big cubes?
Make a perception check for me, please.
There's
I-
one
I
that's
see
just full of
continents
rotten
or water or geographical features.
Sure. Make a perception.
Perception. I keep rolling that dice and it keeps doing me dirty. But it's a 14.
Kind of pitted, rocky. There are a lot of holes, as well as these giant black spikes kind of popping out of the cube every now and then. Doesn't seem to be any water or mountainous or valley sort of or situations.
But they look like some kind of geographic feature.
Pitted,
Like a moon.
like if the moon was made out of blue iron.
But the pits are like the pits on the moon.
Not craters, but more divots. Like if
So they're like-
if there was
they're
something that was
uneven.
rust eaten and there are kind of invariable
Okay.
little bumps
So what you were-
and divots in the iron.
what you were describing is so foreign that I don't think Remy would register that this is some kind of a celestial body that anyone could live on.
Sure.
So he's just going to keep rotating with it and say, you know, I was really hoping
Just the
that,
afterlife.
yeah, I was really hoping that if they're going to herald you across the veil, the least they could do is, I don't know, make it to where I don't have to like keep crawling over this stupid floating disc. This is not. What are they? Who made this, and why? And why am I here? I thought I did better than this.
As you bemoan your lot in the afterlife, the speed of the drifting starts to pick up as you get closer to the pull of this cube.
Oh boy.
You start to rotate a little more fast, but you're also starting to hurtle towards this cube. What do you do?
I don't exactly see a way to not make me hurtle towards this cube. I am gonna, I'm gonna try and like stomp this thing, like as it's rotating, kind of stomp it back to where I can at least stand on top of it and kind of ride it down.
Sure. Easy enough to do. You kind of counterbalance the spin. It takes you a couple tries and you end up kind of spinning it more. But in true astronaut fashion, you find a way to level it. And now the only problem is that you're hurtling towards the cube.
Well, at least now I'm surfing towards it a little bit.
Yeah, you are.
As you
Anna, draw that picture.
are slamming into the cube, make either an acrobatics check or an athletics check.
Yeah, that's gonna be acrobatics for me.
I figured.
My friend. Okay, everyone, let's see how this
You
goes.
have slow fall.
I do, which
So
does some
never
things.
mind, you're fine.
Tyler, that doesn't do what you think it does.
It reduces damage by a lot.
Yeah, but not enough to.
You're fine. I'll
mitigate
tell you
your
that because you're falling from the rock, which by the time you jump off will be like 10 feet high.
Oh, I love these physics. I love the ones where you can like stand on a platform and jump out of an airplane and you're fine as long as you jump off the platform right before it hits the ground.
Yep. It's kooky.
Is that what I do? Seriously?
Yeah, you just jump off and then kind of float down with your slow fall and make landfall on this new gravitational force.
Oh.
As you do so, Vinny, you see spinning, hurtling towards your cube, a small rock with something on it, and it hurls into the ground. You see floating down, Mary Poppins style almost. None other than Remington Northerly Topsford.
Perfect. Okay. This isn't where I thought I was. But at least I have friends. So... Remy! Remy!
You hear shouting over Vinny and see his silhouette on the horizon.
He's gonna jog up to Vinny.
Vinny's jogging up to him as well.
This is cute.
This is a Top Gun beach volleyball scene where they go and hug.
Oh my
Mr.
gosh.
New through the peace, I'm sorry to hear of your demise. And he reaches out his hand.
What do you mean, my demise?
We're dead.
Wait,
and this is
did
the
you
afterlife.
just shoo away his...
No, I gave him the 5.
Okay.
What do you mean?
We're dead, clearly. I was exploded, and then I woke up on a rock floating through space.
Oh, no. We're not dead. This is...
What?
No. When you die, you die. There's nothing afterward.
I don't think that's right either.
No.
Let's back up a little bit. You're alive. I'm alive.
Right, I was just talking to Titania. If I'm talking to her, I'm sure everything is just fine.
So where are we?
Well, that I can't answer.
Okay, let's back it up. What happened? I got knocked out. What happened?
Well, I did stabilize you. You were bleeding out, and I slapped a Band-Aid on it, and And then, well, Waknapula crushed that spear, and then we all got sucked into a void. And here we are, and Cube World is what I've named it.
Oh, okay.
There's lots of cubes. Did you notice?
I did, and do you know what else, Venuthra? I kind of wish that this was the afterlife, because that would make more sense.
This would be an incredibly dismal afterlife. Also, look over here. And he's like,
Yeah, there's
look at it.
definitely an undead army just like washing over one another in waves, dying repeatedly.
Huh.
I was going to go see if I could, I don't know, find the source of this army and negotiate with its leader. I don't know. To be honest, it's all I've got so far.
That's a pretty good plan, all things considered. We could always, in the meantime, we'll place some bets and see who wins.
Remy and Vinny, as you're watching this army clash, suddenly they come to a halt. All look up in unison.
No.
And then start scurrying down into the holes of this cube. And as you look where their eye line was, or lack of eye line, I would say, you see the corner of a cube bearing down on your side.
Oh, Scott. I'm going to need your help with this. I'm not too quick on my feet.
Bells
All right.
and Ruby, what are your passive perceptions?
15.
Okay.
I don't know. Oh, 11.
Okay. Bells, as she's going on and on about how much Stoheller sucks, you notice out of the corner of your eye that there's a zenith of points where your cube kind of meets at a corner. Then you look a little bit further, and there's another cube, and you're getting closer to it. Looks like you're on a collision course.
Ruby, is it?
Yeah.
It looks like that cube is coming closer and closer to us.
Oh, dear.
You've seen this happen before. Sometimes cubes collide and they just explode, and sometimes one survives, sometimes both do, sometimes neither do.
Yeah, from what I've been watching with these cube and they're floating and they're whatever they're doing, sometimes they do run into each other and different things happen.
Different things like what?
Well, sometimes they just blow up, like both of them, or sometimes one just kind of shatters and the other one's fine or makes a crater, or, I don't know.
Is there any way that we can tell what's going to happen?
No.
Not that you can tell.
Maybe we should get on the opposite end of this cube, away from where it's pointing into that other one.
Can we do that? How big is the cube?
Fairly large.
Just run in the opposite.
It'd take a hot minute for you to get to the other side of the cube.
Okay.
Ruby, I'm not sure that is...
My legs are real short, so you're probably right. Should try to run
I guess
nowhere.
we just hope that things work out for the best.
Do you do that a lot?
You just give up, why don't you, Bells?
What do you propose?
Well, I thought we could run away, but
If we're about to explode and both cubes collapse.
we can just sit right down here. Just have us a nice chat while we go into oblivion.
Do you really think that's exactly what's going to happen?
I really don't know.
Well, if this is what happens here, I guess so.
You must have been through something.
And with that, we'll cut back to Remy and Vinny.
Oh.
Now with increased speed, this cube is starting to head towards basically where you are.
Vinny would quickly take out his rope. Here, whatever you do, just don't lose the end of this rope. We need to stick together.
All right. We need to go now, and he's going to start sprinting towards the hole.
I'll do what he's doing.
Okay. You start to sprint down into the tunnels. Immediately,
undead?
it's dark, and God, there's a bit of moisture
Do we
in
have
the
any
air.
tools? Oh, maybe we should go into a tunnel.
And you start to slip and slide down this kind of anthill sort of structure,
Ooh.
taking lefts and rights,
Oh no, no, no!
Wow.
Hang on a second.
being careful not to get lost. How deep do you go?
Do we see any of the undead?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
They're running all over the place. Some of them are screaming. Some of them are killing each other. Some of them are killing themselves.
And they're not paying them. They're not paying them any mind.
Are we bumping
They're not
into
paying
them?
any mind to these.
They don't seem to notice you guys.
Yeah, I
almost.
was gonna say, are we bumping into them? Can we feel them? Are we going through them?
Are you going to bump?
Going
Are you going
through
to
them.
try and avoid them, or are you going to bump
Well,
into them?
don't. But if it's hustle and
chaos,
bustle,
yeah.
you know.
Unless you're like
Not
just
trying
intentionally trying to, you can avoid
I
rubbing
just wanted to know
shoulders, so
that
to
we were
speak.
going to get deep enough that they're there because I feel like they probably know best.
Okay.
That was a good idea.
Eventually, you get to some sort of large cavern, and you see like this ramshackle city, mostly of weird wooden beams and black iron, and they all kind of batten down their doors and stuff. But yeah, you feel pretty secure down here.
I'm just going to turn to one of the undead that's standing there. I'm just going to look up at it and say, you know what's going to happen to us?
You have flesh. I would like flesh.
All right, let's get going.
Go back to the cubes.
He has flesh.
We run. Come, Remy, come on.
Yep.
And then we dip back into that.
As you guys are like just booking it away, you hear echoes of other voices. Flesh, juicy meat, we hunger. And you make your way out of the cavern. They don't pursue very long. Seems like they got winded.
Well, that's what a healthy pair of lungs will do for you. So
We're gonna cut back to Bells and Ruba. Ruba.
Aruba.
I almost said
Aruba.
Reba.
Reba.
Ruby.
Reba is her inspiration.
Ruby. You are picking up speed. Is there anything you're doing, or are you just going into oblivion?
Do we
No,
have?
there's. I thought
Okay,
they were
so
sitting.
have
They were
caves.
sitting.
So
There
what
are caves.
happened to the
Did our armies go inside?
Yeah.
Did our armies
You
go
said their
inside the
armies
tunnels?
went inside
Those-
tunnels.
They're mostly inside. You see a couple of undead milling about, just
So you didn't tell us that
sorry.
that two giant armies just crawled
Ran back
into the
into their
ground.
holes.
Yeah, well, the army that you were encountering was a ways away. You walked a bit to find Ruby, but
Okay.
there are undead around. So yeah, you see a lot of them go underground.
I didn't get your name.
Oh, you can call me Isabella.
Oh, that's a nice name.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You
So-
want to go down in the holes with them undead?
Probably. I guess so. Yes, let's go down.
Might be our best bet.
I guess you're right.
Okay.
So we're going down in the holes.
I'm
You
gonna-
guys sprint down into
Hoof it
this
on my little
ant-like,
half-big
ant-hill-like
legs.
complex of iron tubes.
We're gonna
You
not
going
talk
pretty
to any
deep,
of
or you
them.
gotta stay closer to the surface?
I wouldn't go deep enough where I would get possibly confused that I couldn't come back up.
Okay. As you hurtle towards the cube, eventually the two clash. There is a shaking sound, Vinny and Remy, as there's this impact. You are floored as, assumingly, the other cube strikes. There we go. We got a visual there. Bells and Ruby, you are also thrown down to the ground, but all of you seem to be kind of insulated from the main impact on the surface. And there's this kind of tearing sound, cracking sound, and Ruby and Bells, the tunnel below you, what was below you, rips away as part of the cube just is gone, and the corner is stuck into this other cube. Yeah, you're on the ceiling, what was the ceiling, and the floor rips out from under you. You see it kind of scraping across and then hurtling through space.
So
about
like
half of
the
it
bulk
missing.
of the cube has gone away,
Yeah.
and we're on the point.
You are
and
stuck
now we're
into it,
upside, We're
yeah.
on what is
Okay.
now upside down.
Okay.
Yes. Remy and Vinny, as you guys are kind of wandering back through, you see that now where the wooden and ramshackle village of undead were is now a collapsed cavern with a
Undead
big
widow.
point in the very center where, surprisingly enough,
Vortices.
you weren't, which is a good thing, where the other cube's corner embedded itself into the iron.
Oh, okay, let's go back up to the surface. Let's see what's going on.
All right, gotta be ready to move again though.
So,
Stay on your toes.
Yeah, keep your rope close. I don't want to get torn away.
as you head to the surface, Bells and Ruby, what are you doing?
Like crawl over to the, because now that's like an edge. So
Yeah.
we like crawl over to the edge and like look over onto the next cube.
Yeah,
we
you
are
are
now
about
in, right?
you're about 30 feet above the surface of this
In
thing
this
on this
corner.
kind of upside down pyramid stuck
Mhm.
into the earth.
Mhm.
As you kind of crawl over, there's a slight tugging at your leg as one of these undead is just in half, but it's like
I whack it with my quarterstaff.
it kind of just cowers away.
See? The whacking.
Yeah.
You do see at some point later, after observing another halfling like yourself, as well as a kind of a tealish skinned, red-headed half elf in flamboyant clothing surface.
It's the sound of us popping
Hey, look.
out.
Remy, do you look up there? There's some more people. That kind of looks like.
Wait, do they see us or do we see them?
No, make a perception check.
Oh,
That's for them.
Y'all see them.
Okay,
You got a
'cause
bird's
we're
eye
up high.
view. Yeah.
so we don't see them.
Make a
Okay.
perception check.
Well, I wasn't looking, but
It's okay.
3.
Yeah, you weren't looking.
Oh, I love
Hey,
Can I tell who it?
Is that-
Can I tell it's them?
Is that your friends?
Yeah, at this point you can tell it's them.
Remington, the Nuthra.
Do we hear?
Yeah,
I would just
yeah.
start running towards them.
You are 30 feet in the air.
Wait, we're in the air?
Because we're on
Around
the
Yeah.
cliff.
the rest the
You're on the bottom of a pyramid sticking into the ground. So like an upside
so
down
like
pyramid.
this cube ran into that cube and the whole rest of it broke off.
Yeah.
So we're on like the broken top of the upside down pyramid.
Hey,
Sorry,
th-
what?
Throw
Okay.
down a rope and we'll stabilize it.
Okay, I would do that.
Okay, and tie it off on a chunk of broken rock.
Tie it in that way where when you shake it, it comes down. It's a
Easily
real knot.
enough, you're able to one by one climb down. I don't know, I said one by one. Both of you are able to climb down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I shake the rope and get it back?
Make a survival check. Let's see how good your
Yeah,
knot tying
you
is.
do that survival check. I think you're better at
There's
that.
a type of knot you do, and then you can basically, as long as it's tight,
12.
Stays.
Okay,
it stays,
no,
and then
it's
as soon
taut.
as you shake it,
I don't
I have
believe
the
that's
ropes.
real because if it was, Tolkien would have put it in Lord of the Rings instead of having a magic rope.
well, my papa taught me, and I was a Boy Scout,
It's okay.
so I know.
Okay.
Get him.
I'll teach you how to tie it if you give me a rope.
It's a myth.
Kill him, Jeremy.
All of this is more.
Yeah, get up.
That's
Okay,
more realistic.
anyway. He's right, you're wrong. It's fine.
It's okay.
Ha!
Oh,
Oh,
Hey,
how have you been? What?
How do you think we've been? Are we? Jeez.
Have you seen the professor?
Oh no, just me and Remy so far. Remy, what are you saying?
Oh, I was saying I'm still, now that it's just like all of us, I'm not 100% sure. I think this might be the afterlife. I've been back and forthing on that a lot.
Oh, I don't think we're dead.
He thinks we're dead.
I don't think we're dead.
If
No.
we were dead, we wouldn't be here.
We were sucked into we watched you become incapacitated, but we all were sucked into this realm.
I mean,
it's like
that-
what was happening in Cyrus's books. Did you see those?
Oh, that's right.
Yes, we're
Okay.
on some kind of different plane of existence or something.
Oh, y'all know something about all this.
Make an Arcana check for me now that they mentioned that.
Me?
Yeah.
Did I do that with this one? 20?
Mhm.
24.
Yeah, you know where you are. You're like, oh,
Right?
putting
Yeah.
2 and 2 together. You've read some books
Okay.
on places like this.
Okay.
You're definitely in the lower planes of existence, and you're pretty certain you're in a plane of existence called Acheron.
Now, I don't want to scare y'all or nothing, but I'm pretty sure we're in Acheron.
I don't even know what that means.
What is
Oh,
Acheron?
I thought maybe y'all knew more than. Okay.
Are you supposed to guide us to the other side?
Remington, we're
baby,
not
you're not dead.
Okay.
I promise you, I had to use the little girl's room behind a rock over there. I don't think that happens if we're dead.
I don't think any of this happens if we're alive either, to be fair.
Remy, we're in a plane. It's
yeah.
just like the one that Cyrus had his dream or vision of.
Make
Do
a
you
religion check for
remember
me,
that?
Remy.
A religion check.
Yeah.
I think that one's a pretty good one for me.
Oh,
actually.
Yeah, I mean, you have a high wisdom.
But you know what you can't beat is a 2 plus 5.
Yeah, you're probably dead.
He's
You're
just
dead.
dumb and dead.
All right. Well, anyway, so does it really matter where we are? We don't want to stay here. Is that right?
That is for sure.
What
You
have,
there? What was your name again?
Ruby.
Ruby. It's good to meet you. My name is Venuthra Silverbeak.
Hello, Vanu.
You can call
Nice to
me
meet
Vinny.
you. Oh, that's
Um,
nice.
Yes. So, all right. Do you know her? Is she
Oh, we
someone
just
from your
met.
past?
She
or-
just popped up on my cube, and then our cube hit your cube, and here we are.
And undoubtedly, she's been asking you tons of questions ever since she met you.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Which is nice because I love to tell stories. So,
Well, you guys were a match up. 2 peas in a pod, if you will. Or 2
Match made in
fleshy,
hell.
juicy meats in a undead flesh tunnel.
you know,
Venuthra.
that is real.
Yes. Well,
do you have a plan for something that we can do?
What else do I
Uh,
know about this place since I apparently know things?
Well, yeah, now you're kind of thinking back on some of your studies at the anecdotal annex.
Yep.
And lower planes, you can kind of think there's a ocean? No, there's a river that runs through all the lower planes as well as touches the astral sea. Something called the Fell River.
So, do I explain this to them?
Sure, if you wanna. Up to you.
Now, okay, how much do y'all know about any astral planes, about the lower planes?
I read a page of a book this morning.
Just the one page.
Oh, a couple of pages, I guess.
Oh, all right.
I know that there are other planes that exist.
Yeah. All right.
maybe you just tell us what you
So,
know because we're pretty
From
clueless.
what I know from just reading, this is the first time I've traveled, in a new plane. I've done some travels, but not quite this far. From what I understand, there is a river that runs sort of betwixt the twain, if you will, of the plains.
A river made of what exactly?
Probably water.
Astral juices.
Oh, astral juices. I assume water.
Is it water? What does it mean? Is it like energy?
Astral juices.
You have no idea what this river's made
I don't
of.
know. It's very
Probably water.
It is very mysterious. But it's what is it called? The River Fay?
The Fell River.
The Fell River. And it connects various lower planes. So if we want to get out of this one, maybe if we find it, we could mosey on.
What are in the other lower planes?
You got
I know
24?
several, right?
Is that
yeah.
what you said?
Yes.
Yeah, other hells.
Well, they're all going to be, similar in vibe, if you will, to what's going on right here.
And how exactly do we get out of?
Why would we want
what
to go to
exactly?
another place like this?
Well, then we won't get eaten by undead.
You know that
Yeah.
also the astral sea is kind of a way station between planes.
Oh, okay.
So it kind of
So
is
the
like
river
a
leads-
miasma that floats between planes.
So the river leads to the astral sea, and from there we could connect to some better planes.
Okay, well, you seem to know so much more about this than the rest of us. Perhaps you could guide
From
us there.
Bard College.
Right.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, dead or not, that sounds like the right direction.
Do either of you have a better plan?
Well, let's get somewhere where we can see where we're headed.
Should we climb back up that rope?
Perhaps. Can we tell which way we're floating? Like,
What do you mean? Like there's no north, south, east, west.
right, but we're moving, right? And so
Mm-hmm.
if we're moving left to right, I'd want to be on top to see kind of like where we're coming from and where we're headed.
Okay. Make a perception
So
check
if
for
we're
me.
like on a cube,
Also,
if you will, I'd want to be at the tip top
I feel like
as
we
we
need better.
move through the wherever.
Remy and Vinny, what's your passive intelligence?
Passive intelligence? Who even asks for that?
Me, right now.
Where
12.
is that?
12?
Yeah.
12.
Okay. As you're kind of getting your bearings, Vinny, you also think back. There was water underground in your cube.
Oh,
Kind of like condensation, moist in the tunnels.
What is
Right.
it, Venitra?
Well, I mean, it was kind of soggy in the tunnels when we were there, so could
Hmm.
I don't know, river
Right.
moisture.
You
I
think
mean,
the
going
river
down
is
seems-
underground in the cube?
Inside the cube.
It doesn't seem to make a lot of sense to me why it would be inside the cube. But
Well, but float. It's also. I mean, that cube's floating this way. This cube, all the cubes are just doing their own thing. I don't really also see how the river is gonna just be floating with all these cubes. Makes more sense. It would be in some kind of ground. So.
well, we could. I don't know.
You know what? Let's go.
Let's
What
go.
do we- what have
Let's
we
go
got
see
to
if we could
lose?
find a river in the cube.
Well,
We're
let's
already
we go.
in
Lead the
hell.
way.
Well, sure. Come with me.
Y'all ready to whack off some undeads if you need to? Just checking if y'all are.
Yeah, what do we have on our person? Do we have like our bags and?
Yeah, everything that you had on you when you were fighting.
I also did my my short rest while I was on the rock, so I'm good to go.
Great.
That was smart. So yeah, let's go. And then
You're proceeding inside the cube.
into the cube,
Okay.
looking more for the water.
As you proceed downward, make a perception check for me, whoever's in the lead.
Vinny would be.
If you're using light, roll it regular. If not, then those of you who have no dark vision are at disadvantage.
I have my morning star radiating.
Okay.
I dark vid.
Yeah,
How
you're
do
the
I
only one
know?
who has dark vision now.
So I'll just
I
roll
got dark
regular
vision.
straight.
Mm-mm.
I
Why
got
do you?
it.
Oh, belts of dwarven kind.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right, perception. Oh, that's right. I leveled 14.
14. There is this condensation as you start to follow this path downward that branches and branches and branches. And then there start to be drips of condensation that bead and then start to dribble down channels. You follow it ever further, ever longer, and the hours start to march on.
Just a little ever further.
Eventually, this water starts to trickle into multiple beads joining a small little kind of channel, and then a stream slowly meandering, picking up speed eventually.
Is there a point which we could hop in and go faster than walking?
It's not deep,
Okay.
but
Maybe
it's
like-
wider.
Toboggan.
I might
slide
think
in a
about that
rock.
if it ever becomes an option.
I will say this ground is very porous and it would hurt very bad.
Slide.
You like
wouldn't do
sliding
that.
across a cheese grater,
Ouch.
Ugh.
No thanks.
but
did like a
you can,
natural
you're more than
rock
welcome to
slide.
try. That's the
waterfall
DM thing
in
to
the
say,
river.
right?
In Puerto Rico.
Well, you know.
It is.
Um,
I'm gonna-
eventually, this stream kind of
I love it.
converges
Hits my head on the way down.
and flows into a cavern below on your left. It opens up and you see a large black river. When the waterfall hits this surface, however, there's no motion from it. The water kind of crashes down into it. The water's dispersing, but the surface remaining completely unbroken.
The surface of what?
The river, the stream meets a river, a giant black river in this cavern.
So the stream falls into a waterfall, which
Mhm.
hits the river, and the river is undisturbed
Correct.
by the waterfall.
Ruby, are these the
Whoa.
astral juices you were talking about?
I think maybe so. They do not look very welcoming.
Do we need
How
to
do
fill
we-
our skins with this
With
water,
good water?
with this stream water here?
You know, that might not be a bad idea.
I'll taste it. I won't drink it, but I'll.
Okay.
You're gonna drink the fell. river?
It is freezing to the touch as you dip your fingers into the water and
Ooh.
put to your tongue. Make a Constitution saving throw for me, please.
Oh boy, howdy.
Yay! I love throwing dice. 17.
You take 2 points of cold damage.
Yee, chilly.
What? Whoa.
I'm only 5 alive.
Be careful.
Do you need to take a little resty rest here with your cold damage?
I can help.
Sir?
I'm just gonna. I'll try and get this back on track a little bit. Venuthra, you look terrible. We're not gonna put you in the water in your condition. Hold on a second, and let's see.
What about
how
your
many-
condition? How many points of life do you have?
I'm fine. I was sitting on a rock by myself for like 6 hours. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good, pretty spry, pretty ready.
Okay.
Venuthra,
Let's
just
see.
accept his help.
You do look real bad.
Hang on. I'm gonna do some healing hands for
That's the Thomas.
It is.
heals
how about
Neil.
23 points of healing to you?
Oh, whoa.
Nice.
Since
Okay.
when can you do that?
I dumped out 3 key points to it. You know, we got time.
Okay.
But I'm only dumping 3 out because I might need those for later.
That'll do. Thank you. Thank you, Remy. I feel so much better. I didn't realize how bad it felt.
Yeah, you were literally on death's door. I mean, we're all kind of on death's door, but in this
Yeah,
I kind of thrive in this sort of atmosphere.
doorway of death here.
I mean, I don't think that you saw the back of your head. It was pretty charred back there. It was a mess. It looks better now, but you know, might lose some hair.
Well, let me just clean up and prestidigitation.
There you go.
As you go to clean yourself up, your hands kind of spark and then peter out.
Just in
Magic not
time to
taking
jump in a
effect.
cursed river.
Oh.
You hear a chuckle in your head.
Mm.
Venuthra, are you all right?
I'm
What's wrong with you?
fine. I'm fine.
What? Oh,
No, don't worry about it. Let's just go.
no, Vinny, what's the problem?
Nothing. It's nothing. Let's go. Let's go.
Maybe
is
deception
familiar.
check.
Clearly something.
If you want to insight, you can roll insight.
I mean,
You
I
know-
don't need to, but
I'm gonna do.
Okay, 21.
21.
21.
Who has the higher charisma?
oh, him of course. Mine's nothing.
Okay.
What about me? I don't know him, but I got a lot of charisma.
You're not sure what's up. But you believe him. Nothing's wrong. You just, there's this inkling of a feeling in the back of your head. You're like, maybe. I don't know.
It's fine. Let's just go. Let's just go.
You
No, I just remembered something that I need to do, and it's fine. We've got to get out of here. That's for certain.
Seemed a lot worse than a forgotten to-do list.
So, what are you guys doing?
Well, this water is so cold. Hella cold, if you will. Do we want to jump down into that there black river?
Could we climb down, perhaps? But is there any? Is it
You can
just
make,
the
you can
river?
make your way down to the river, to like the surface of it, for
Oh.
sure.
Of the Black
That's easy
River.
enough to do.
Okay, yeah,
Great.
do that.
We do that.
That happens.
We
So now
take
we're
no
on the
cold
edge of the
damage.
Black River, which does not look like regular water.
Looks like dark, like inky.
I'm gonna poke it with my stick.
Okay. You poke it, and it's kind of solid.
Ew.
There's a little bit of give to it.
Like Jello?
Not like
Wait.
Jello.
Does it resemble the stuff that's
Yes!
on the floor in the
Yes!
library?
My question.
Oh.
Make an Arcana check or a religion check.
Or a religion, you said?
Yeah.
All right, this is the one. This dice can't keep rolling that bad.
Come
for
on.
me. Oh, it did not.
Okay,
It's a 23.
okay,
Does not resemble your goo.
Mm.
God dang it.
okay.
I will say with that 23, that goo is definitely not from your plane of existence.
We're not even in my plane of existence.
It's not
Of
from the
course it's
material plane.
What is it? Can I?
Is this
Should I taste this one as well?
No,
No.
please do
not.
not.
No, don't touch that. I
Should-
don't know what it is. It's not.
well, aren't we going to get in it? Was that not the plan?
We're
Is
gonna
there
stay out
anything
of it
else
as long
around?
as we
Is there a
can.
boat around? Is there any
Make a perception check.
like debris that we could make around?
That's what I was gonna ask.
Me?
Yep.
How do I do that?
You roll it and
No.
you add your perception modifier.
21!
21?
Okay, that's good.
Natural 20!
Yeah,
Hey!
With my
actually
one
see,
perception.
Some
Worked out
shattered
really
pieces
well.
of wood that you could probably rope together if you'd like. You don't know how it ended up here.
Let's do that.
You want to make a raft?
Sure,
All
let's
right.
do it.
Okay.
It's been a minute since
I'm
I've
from
made
the
a
swamps.
raft.
Let me
This'll
just
be
fashion
fun.
us a raft here real quick. You apparently know some knots.
That's right.
I know how to make something
yeah,
passable.
Here,
to
give, me, here, give me that flat end over there. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
You have yourselves a raft.
Well, I'll be the first, and I step out on my new boat.
Okay. As you set the raft in the water, kind of.
Oh wait, before we do that, Remy's gonna take out. Let's see. For my provisions, I'm gonna take out. What would you say? It's reasonable to have a small wine for cooking?
I'd say yes. You could have like a cooking sherry.
Say, wait, Venuthra, get off the boat right now.
Well, sure. What,
No,
what's
get
going
off the
on?
boat.
Okay, well, settle down. Just
He's
tell me
gonna
what's
take
going
out
on.
his cooking sherry and he's gonna break it on the break it on the edge of the raft.
Remington.
Maiden voyage.
Yeah, you can't just. Do you want this to sink? Are
Well,
you crazy?
As you
well,
do,
you gotta name it.
As you do christen this, you do see that it is slightly sinking, just ever so slowly.
Uh-oh.
And you see kind of ice crystals start to form, especially over where the spilt sherry made contact.
I don't know that this stuff lacks stuff from where we come from.
Well,
That's sensible.
It kind of looks like it's sinking, doesn't it?
It reminds you of quicksand at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm glad I didn't.
We got
touch
some
it.
pretty awful bogs down there in Stoiller.
I can't
Well-
believe I just wasted the sherry on this.
Well,
Well, at least
now
it
we know
saved
it
our
probably would have
lives.
frozen us to bits.
And as you say that, the raft is enveloped into the river.
Okay, well, let's just continue
Well-
along the side, why don't we?
Yeah, can we walk
Yeah,
along it?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
You
Yeah, we
continue
just
along
gonna
the side, the river
walkity walk.
growing and shrinking in size every now and then. And you journey for quite some time before you start to see, ooh, I dropped my wedding ring, light coming up ahead.
From where?
As you get closer, you realize
Like
that
in
there's
the
a
tunnel?
large hole in the side of this cube, and the river spills out into oblivion.
Well, I guess that's where we're headed.
How do we get there exactly?
Like into more cube land? Like into
Into
the
the space between.
But
yes.
it is between the space of the cubes.
Well, all right.
Well,
Let's make good pace here. Get up to the edge, and maybe if we need to rest there, then we can. Or we can keep going. I don't know what rest would do. Do you have any provisions on you?
I
Oh,
have
a fair
some on
amount.
mine.
sherry that you already broke.
Should we
Look,
stop for the evening?
I'm from a seaside town, okay? I know how boats go. I've seen a lot of ones go out without a christening, and is it called christening?
Wait.
If there's no Christ?
There's no such word as christening here.
A blessing?
Bahamiding.
Yeah, blessing. Thank you.
Okay.
I've seen many a boat go out without its proper blessing, and you know what? They don't often come back. So,
I'm
was
with
worth
you.
a bottle
I'm
of
with
Had
you,
you
brother.
not done that, we would have been on it, or at least Venuthra would have been on it, and that wouldn't
Enveloped
have
in
ended
black
well.
astral goo.
That's right. It was you gotta follow some rules.
That's right. Well, I think, honestly, I
Even if we're
think I have some of Sweetie's pastries.
No, you didn't.
I might
Yeah, it's
actually
from-
have some
from-
as well.
Quite a long time ago.
You mean
You
sweaty?
brought them. Okay.
It's Sweetie's, but yeah, sure. Yeah, I have some of his almond pastries. They're from probably, I don't know, when we went to Urungal the first time, not the second.
I have 8
That was-
left in my quiver that
They're-
should be.
Rock solid.
No, these are fresh.
You
Is the
put-
day I put them
I'm
in
so-
there.
You put pastries in your quiver?
But it keeps them quite fresh.
I understand it, but isn't that for, I don't know, weapons? Or you filled it with Danishes?
Oh,
Food can be a very dangerous
I
weapon.
store my weapons on my person.
Oh wait, never mind. The pastries were in the bag of holding the whole time.
Oh,
They're fine. Let's share.
I
Yes.
didn't know about Belle's private stash of quiver pastries.
Oh yeah, I've been sneaking them.
Okay,
So-
well, you know what? I'm beginning to think that we might not all be dead after all, because that seems an awfully silly thing to carry into the afterlife otherwise.
They are wonderful.
They're very good.
You seem very certain about this afterlife.
I mean, of course, look at where we are right now for a minute, Venuthra. We're next to a river that travels between different hells, and you want to question whether or not we have an immortal soul,
Okay, so aside from our pastry break, are we breaking here for an extended period of rest? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I'm just saying let's get up to the edge where we see it, floof out, and then we can make a decision from there.
Okay.
Okay.
You get
well,
to the
let's go.
edge. It floofs out and dissipates.
It
into
just
nothingness.
dissipates, like you can't
Mhm.
see the rest.
Wow, this seems to end after a minute.
Someone let's put Remy on a rope and throw him out.
I
Why
think I've had
Remy?
enough of.
Why
I
don't we
I've
put
had-
you on a rope and throw you out?
Well,
He's very
lighter.
tall.
He's lighter. It would just be, I don't know. Okay,
think-
fine. Just tie me off to a rock. I'm gonna jump out and see what happens.
No. If someone's gonna jump out, it'll be me.
No, it's fine.
But
I can do this.
You can't.
Okay, I'm sorry. Do
look at
we
your
think that this
arms.
is the like juicy river astral?
Look at it. I'm just saying, if it floofs
What
out,
if we
maybe
should-
I'll floof out.
What if we should go into it? What if that is how you travel between planes? Is
Yeah, I
that how
think
it works, Ruby?
You want to run this on a
We
what
don't
if?
know anything about it in practice, just theory.
I've really only read, and there's not a whole lot of practical, application in those scholarly tomes. So, but you could, clearly this waterfall sort of just disappears. So maybe it kind of runs into another plane somewhere down there. And if he jumps off and we can't see him no more, maybe
Hits
he
the
went
rope.
and then we pull him back out and then we decide if we want to all jump.
Okay, let's do that. Sure,
Maybe
Remington.
we ought to go down for. Maybe we ought to bed down for a little bit, take it easy, and then we can make the choices after we've had a good night's rest or good afternoon, good day rest. I don't know what time it is.
Ambiguous time because this place is hell.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think literally yes.
So are we long resting?
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't believe I've
Yeah.
properly introduced myself. We've been, we met in a bit of a situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, my name's Remington Northerly Topsford.
Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Ruby Jane Swamp Hopper of Stowe Hillary. But you can call me Ruby.
Oh, you can call me Remy.
Oh, that's nice.
It's the cutest thing I've seen in this entire campaign.
Except we're
Ruby
in
and
hell.
Remy.
So wholesome.
Where are you from, brother?
Oh, I'm gonna pull up my notes.
You're from Uldar.
Yeah, I have it, Tyler.
Okay.
From Uldar. Not my parents were from elsewhere, but you grow up where you're born and stuff.
You've heard of Uldar.
Yeah,
You
I know of
you
it.
stopped momentarily before heading to Pinebreak and then around to Callion.
Yeah, I've been there just for a minute, but my family was all cartographers, so I know my way around a map. I know where it is.
Oh, okay, great. It was a nice place to live. I enjoyed being on the coast, all the bustle. Seeing
Yeah.
all the ships come in, sailors, that sort of thing.
I love me a sailor story.
Oh, wait a minute. Do you happen to know someone by the name of Phineas Lonesome?
Make a history check for me.
22.
Whether you decide that you personally love him or hate him, you very much know of the famed explorer, cartographer extraordinaire,
What is his name?
Phineas Lonesong, Bard of Legend.
Oh. He's a real person.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Do y'all know him?
Oh, yeah.
Do y'all like him?
We're on the fence.
I do know of him, and he is quite the character.
Well, that's
That's
accurate.
You read some books on him at the Anecdotal Annex, actually.
I read some books on him at the Anecdotal Annex, actually.
Oh, him and his books. Yes.
He did say he was going to publish a book.
Constantly.
It always surprised us how competent he was.
Mm.
That is true. He could do things well.
You'd
but...
make you mad. You know when you see someone who says, "Oh, I can do this and I've done that," and they just go on and on and on about themselves.
So full of themselves.
And then
But
They
then you
they
actually-
just actually
But
do
they're
it.
not a total idiot.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the frustrating
That's
thing.
annoying. Yeah.
That's
I get it.
That's Phineas.
Well, I will say from his books, as a bard, I can usually tell when a story is real or not, and some of them were definitely exaggerated. So I would not be surprised if he was not, in some ways, awesome, but probably
definitely stretches
probably
the
full of
truth.
himself. Yes.
Okay. Anyways, sorry, Remy. I just
Who?
Remington.
No, I meant the lone song. Oh yeah, you knew him with that other fellow you used to travel with.
Cyrus.
No, he just kept saying he was the big one. I don't know anything about it. He sounded
He's
very
talking.
cool.
He's
and
talking
he-
about Vern. Yes. So
Yes,
Phineas,
he and Vern traveled off.
Sounded very interesting and popular.
one of the founding members of. Well,
He's the one that
You
found
don't
you
know,
naked after your
but-
Fae experience.
right. We are the Guild of Goodwill. And
That's precious.
That's right. We. Oh, I wish you hadn't said that.
I mean, it sounds very legitimate.
It has. It has roots.
It's just the three of y'all?
Well,
Well, there's
has-
4 of us.
there's been more.
Yeah, there's 4 of us. We don't know where
Oh,
Cyrus
this
is.
is
He's
the thing
probably-
that you've been through that made you so melancholy
This
and
is
ready to just.
Well, there was 2 more, really.
Cyrus. Cyrus could be here.
Yes.
We didn't know where he
Oh.
was. He could be here.
Y'all are missing
It's true.
somebody.
Well, yeah. So we are 4. We were 5, and well, one of our.
He's gone missing. We couldn't find him before the dragon and the night and all of
A
that.
dragon.
Yes.
I can't believe we didn't think to look for him before we came all the way down here.
We need
Y'all have been through a lot.
to rest. Venuthra. Look at you. You do look better than before, but we need to rest before continuing on.
Okay. Yeah. Let's just go ahead and. I'm probably not going to keep a very vigilant watch, but I'll do my best.
I can keep a watch at least.
And as you bed down as much as you can for an evening of rest, Adrift in Avalos, first plane of Acheron. That's where we're gonna end tonight's game.
Right on time!
10:40.